Hey everybody, Kyle Goeth here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel. I've got a quick out-of-the-theater reaction for the new Fantastic Beasts film. That is Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore. This movie is an overall improvement over The Crimes of Grindelwald. I liked The Crimes of Grindelwald, but it's a very messy movie. So going into this one, I was just kind of hoping they'd right the ship a little bit, and I also was hoping they'd provide a little bit of closure to the story, because Crimes of Grindelwald didn't do as well financially. It did still pretty good, but also, you know, this third film has had a lot of controversy around it, where you stand on the replacement of Johnny Depp, on Ezra Miller, on J.K. Rowling. So it was like, I was kind of hoping that there'd be enough closure to the story that if we didn't see a fourth one, that it would feel complete. So with all that being said, I think it does right the ship a little bit from Crimes of Grindelwald, and it does provide a little bit of closure. Now, that being said, the movie is still quite messy. There's a lot going on, and the very purpose of the story, I'm not going to get too deep into the details, but the purpose and plot of the story is that none of the characters know what's going on. So they're doing a lot of things that Dumbledore knows what's going on, and he's sending them on all these things, but they're just kind of completing parts of a puzzle the whole time. And that can get tough because the characters don't know what their motivation is. They're just doing things for Dumbledore. So we as viewers don't really know if they're succeeding or not. You know, it's kind of like we're lost in the bushes with them. So I guess in a way, the confusion makes us meet the characters on an equal playing field, but at the same time, there's a lot going on, and I'm not really sure that, like, it holds together all that well. I think it's a movie that will require a second viewing, very much like The Crimes of Grindelwald, because there's so much going on. I worry that I kind of got lost in the shuffle a little bit. The movie's still wonderful, wonderfully made with great cast. I love that they keep bringing back Stuart Craig to do production design work. James Newton Howard's score is wonderful. He has got some great Harry Potter callbacks, as well as some callbacks to previous Fantastic Beasts score material. There's even a moment at the end that kind of sounds like the Polar Express. I don't know. It's just an odd thing I noticed. I've always been a fan of Eddie Redmayne in the lead role. I think he does great as well here. But again, the problem with it is that the first Fantastic Beasts film, the reason why that movie is so good is that it sticks to the plot, that it's about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. It's about Newt Scamander. The second and third film have felt like they're leaning more towards the Grindelwald Dumbledore story, which is fine. But I do think that we need to have still some tether to where the films are before. If you're going to call them Fantastic Beasts, if you're going to advertise them as being about that, that was kind of the magical thing about the first film. The second and third have become so convoluted because of that. Now, granted, the convoluted storyline of the third film is a necessity because of what happened with the second film being so messy, being so wild and crazy, is that this film picked up a lot of those pieces and put them back. It provides enough closure where I think I can walk away if there isn't a fourth film and still feel like I've got a complete story here, complete enough, although it does leave me wanting more there. As far as the rest of the cast, I love Jude Law as Dumbledore. I think he's fantastic. I think he's got just enough of which Richard Harris and Michael Gambon brought to the role, while also giving it his own thing to do. Ezra Miller is fine. He's kind of just standing there the whole time. He's kind of doing his creepy Ezra Miller thing. I think it's a good idea that they get rid of Ezra Miller. I think they're just providing a little bit too much difficulty in the context of the narrative outside of the films. So I'm hoping that that story kind of doesn't. We've got enough of that story where I feel like, okay, that's a good ending for them. I don't know if we need to add anything more to it. I hope that's not a spoiler or anything. I'm just telling you guys, I feel like Ezra Miller's story in this franchise feels complete enough where if we didn't see them return for a fourth film, I feel like we've gotten enough of an answer there. Jacob Kowalski, Dan Fogler is, again, the heart of this trilogy has been Dan Fogler, because he's our character that we represent as audience members. So I think getting to see his interactions as he comes to terms with the fact that he's still trying to save Queenie, Alison Sudol's character. It's been, I think, 5 years, so like time has passed since the second film, which left on a very open-ended note. For me, the best parts about the first film were Newt Scamander's relationship with Kowalski, and also that budding romance. I adore the romance that is set in motion between Scamander and Tina Goldstein, played by Catherine Waterston. Waterston is virtually not in the film. She is we learn enough about where she is and what she's doing, but she's virtually absent from the film. I would liken her appearance as be more of a cameo role, which that really hurts. Like, I think the things that really worked about Fantastic Beasts are just more absent in the second film and the third film. But I do think this one is better. If you enjoyed the first film, if you think the second one was like flawed, but you still kind of got enough to want to see where it goes, I think this is a solid enough ending to the story. I wish we had a little bit more of a cohesive, tight story to end it on. And I'm hoping it makes enough for another movie. I would love to see this thing come through to fruition with that fifth film, because I think the fifth film I would assume to be set at 1945 with the final confrontation between Dumbledore and Grindelwald. This third film is just set in 32, so it feels like, again, enough of an ending, but not really the ending that this story feels like it's lending itself to. So I'm mixed, but I think it's an improvement over the previous film, which is always a good idea. Because, again, I liked the second one. I like this one considerably more. Oh, we also didn't mention Mads Mikkelsen, the replacement to Johnny Depp as Gellert Grindelwald. Mads Mikkelsen is the guy that should have played this role from the get-go. I don't think the script gives him enough to do, but I think he makes the most of what he can do. So I'll just leave it at that. I hope you guys enjoy the film. Let me know your thoughts now in the comment section below, what you thought about the film and what you think about the trilogy and where it kind of sits with this 11-film story now. It's interesting to note David Yates has directed 7 of the 11 Wizarding World movies. Like, I feel like he's done a great job on many of them, and I think, it's just interesting that we've now had a director that stayed with this franchise for 15 years now. So let me know your thoughts on the film down below and where you think, would you like to see a 4th film, or are you good with the story ending where it is? And hey, while you're down there too, consider liking and subscribing. They're 2 free things that you can do that help my channel out immensely, but they also make sure you don't miss new episodes of my show that come out as well. Thank you guys for joining me. You can find all my film reviews at goatfilmreviews.com. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd at Almighty Goatman, and we'll see you next time.